everyone, I have another plug and play to review today, the TV Play Power Intellivision plug and play. And looking at this controller, it looks like it used the same mold as the 6-in-1 casino game plug and play that I recently reviewed with some minor differences. And it runs on 4 AA batteries. It has an A and B button, some turbo buttons which are useless in most of the games, and also the A and B buttons have been mapped to the shoulder as well. You got a reset button, you have start and select, you have a nice D-pad, works decently. You could see it powers on, and it has your standard RCA cables with the mono audio. Let's go ahead and take the TV Play Power Intellivision plug and play. Let's plug it in and see how it holds up today. Let's go to the games. The Intellivision TV Play Power plug and play was made by Technosource and carries a copyright year of 2003. This unit appears to be based on the NES on a chip technology, so you are basically getting Intellivision games programmed for the Nintendo Entertainment System. It contains 10 games that can be selected through a simple menu when the system powers up. The first game is Astro Smash, a game that plays like a mix of Space Invaders and asteroids. You move left and right, pressing A to fire and B to hyperspace to a random spot on the bottom. This is an enjoyable game, but I really miss the authentic Intellivision sounds. The second game is Stalker. Grab the gun and you get 6 shots to shoot at spiders and bats that can paralyze you and robots that can kill you. This version controls very well, possibly even better than the Intellivision version, but this version is really missing a lot of the sounds from the original. The third game is Shark. In this game you use a D-pad to move around and A or B to swim faster. Your goal is to eat smaller fish to grow bigger while avoiding bigger fish. There is also a shark you can attack by hitting his tail while avoiding the rest of him. I really enjoyed the original, and I somewhat like this version, which controls really well, but I found it way too easy and thought the shark looked more like a dolphin than a shark, and once again I missed the original sounds. The fourth game is Snafu. In this snake-like game, the speed is chosen for you automatically, but you could choose the game variation and number of rounds. You use the D-pad to steer, trying to avoid head-on collisions. Snafu is best enjoyed as a multiplayer game, but even as a single-player game, this pales to the original, especially due to the missing music. The fifth game is the Space Invaders clone Space Armada. You move left and right while pressing A to fire. This version is functional and seems to be easier than the original, but failed to draw me in. The sixth game is skiing. You can select up to 6 alternating skiers, as well as select the slope and course. Once you start skiing, you press A to move faster and B to jump over moguls, while passing through gates trying to finish as fast as possible. Early skiing games like this have never been my cup of tea, and this one is no exception. The seventh game is Motocross. In this game you use A to accelerate and B to brake. This version is very bare bones, as you can only select the number of laps of a single track, and then you just race against the clock, which for me is not that entertaining. The eighth game is World Championship Baseball. On defense, you press left or right and A to pitch curveballs, and down and A for fastballs. The computer automatically fields the ball for you when hit, but you use a D-pad to toss the ball to the corresponding base when caught, or B to return the ball to the pitcher. On offense, you press B to swing, adding the D-pad to direct your swing. When you make contact, the D-pad is used to direct your batter around the bases. Once again, this is a watered-down version, missing some of the iconic sounds. Playing defense was okay, but I had a hard time on offense. The ninth game is Super Pro Football. You use the D-pad to select the play and either button to hike the ball on offense. On offense, you can only run when the ball is hiked to you with no option to pass, even though the computer-controlled team can pass. On defense, you simply guide your player to try to contact the player with the ball for a tackle. The final game is Star Strike. In this Star Wars trench run type of game, you press the A button to try to bomb the red missile silos below and the B button to fire at the light blue ships in front of you. I found this version to be very difficult, even when compared to the tough original. It seemed way too easy to crash, as if you have less room to move in. Graphically speaking, for the most part, these games do a good job replicating the look of the originals, but the sounds in the game were poor and very lacking. Family-friendly wise, the packaging recommends the system for ages 5 and up. At the time of my research on eBay, including shipping, used versions were selling for $10 a piece and one new version sold for $23, although there were many listed that went unsold. So what did I think of the Intellivision TV Play Power Plug and Play? To me, this should have been labeled Diet Intellivision or Intellivision Lite. The games look like Intellivision games and somewhat play like the originals in some cases, but overall so much of the original taste is missing due to lack of sounds and game options that it is hardly worth playing. And it's a shame too. Games like Night Stalker and Shark control really well with this controller, but not enough to redeem the system. So where am I going to rank the Intellivision TV Play Power Plug and Play? Pretty low. I will put it over the Sega Nano Columns Plug and Play at 18 since the controller controlled so poorly, but I won't put it over the Activision Plug and Play at 17 since it has a fun version of the Great Ice Hockey on it. So out of the 24 Plug and Plays I've now ranked, the Intellivision Lite is clocking into the 18 position. So what do you think of the system? Whether you agree or disagree with me, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Also feel free to click the like and subscribe buttons and follow me both on the Facebook or the Twitter. I'm also a member of the Retro Junkies Network. At this time, I'd like to thank the extraordinary and fellow YouTuber Gray Defender. Thank you for supporting the show through Patreon. Thank you, Gray Defender. If you appreciate the work I do, please consider joining the League of Extraordinary Patreon supporters by signing up at patreon.com/NoSwearGamer for as little as $1 a month. Thank you for giving me a little part of your day, and I look forward to seeing you next time in the next episode of the No Swear Gamer. Take care, everybody.